I solved an internet mystery that had been unsolved for 15 years, and what I found was terrifying. 3 months ago, I stumbled across what people were calling one of the internet's greatest unsolved mysteries. It started in 2009 when someone posted a series of encrypted messages on various forums with no explanation, just random letters and numbers that made no sense to anyone. Over the years, thousands of people had tried to crack these codes. Cryptography experts, computer scientists, even government agencies had looked at them, but nobody could figure out what they meant. The messages would appear on different websites, always posted by accounts that were created just for that purpose and then abandoned. What made it really mysterious was the timing. The encrypted posts would appear exactly every 127 days, always at 3:33 a.m. Eastern Time, and always contained exactly 256 characters. The precision was too exact to be random, but the messages themselves seemed like complete gibberish. I'm not a cryptography expert or anything, just a regular person who got obsessed with puzzles during the pandemic. I'd been working from home and had way too much free time, so I started diving deep into various internet mysteries. This one caught my attention because it seemed so systematic. I spent weeks reading through old forum posts where people had discussed the mystery. There were theories about everything from government spy communications to elaborate art projects to aliens trying to contact Earth. Most people had given up trying to solve it years ago. The thing that interested me was that nobody seemed to be looking at the timing pattern. Everyone was focused on the encrypted text itself, but I noticed that the 127-day intervals weren't random. They corresponded to specific astronomical events. Specifically, when certain constellations were in particular positions. I'm not into astronomy, but I started researching the dates when these messages had appeared over the past 15 years. Every single one corresponded to nights when the constellation Cassiopeia was at its highest point in the sky at exactly 3:33 a.m. from a specific location. Using some online astronomy tools, I calculated that this location had to be somewhere in rural Montana, probably within a 50-mile radius of a specific coordinate. This was the first real breakthrough anyone had made on this mystery in over a decade. I posted my findings on Reddit, and within hours, amateur astronomers and other puzzle enthusiasts were verifying my work. The astronomical correlation was definitely real, which meant whoever was posting these messages was doing it from a very specific location and timing it to astronomical events. But here's where it gets weird. Using the astronomical data, I was able to predict when the next message would appear, in about 3 weeks. I set up alerts on dozens of forums and websites where previous messages had been posted, waiting to see if my prediction was correct. Sure enough, exactly when I predicted, a new encrypted message appeared on an obscure conspiracy theory forum. Same format, same character count, same mysterious timing. But this time I was ready for it. I'd been studying different encryption methods for weeks, and something about this new message looked different. The character distribution was slightly off compared to previous messages, like maybe the encryption method had changed or there was an error in the encoding. I tried every decryption method I could find online, from simple Caesar ciphers to complex military-grade encryption. Nothing worked. But then I remembered something from my research. Cassiopeia is sometimes called the W constellation because of its shape. What if the astronomical timing wasn't just about location, but was actually part of the decryption key? I started treating the constellation's position as part of the cipher, using the angle and orientation as variables in the decryption process. After 3 days of trying different combinations, I finally cracked it. The message wasn't just random characters, it was coordinates. Extremely precise GPS coordinates that pointed to a specific location in rural Montana, exactly where I'd calculated the messages were being sent from. I posted the decrypted coordinates online, and within hours, other people had used Google Earth to look at the location. It was the middle of nowhere, just empty farmland with no visible buildings or structures. But satellite images from different years showed something interesting. There was a small structure that appeared in satellite photos from 2009, right when the encrypted messages started, but then disappeared from more recent images. Something had been built there and then removed, but you could still see the foundation outline in high-resolution photos. The Reddit community was going crazy trying to figure out what had been at those coordinates. Some people started planning road trips to investigate in person, but I had a weird feeling about the whole thing. If someone had been sending encrypted messages for 15 years, they probably didn't want to be found. I decided to do more research before sharing the exact coordinates publicly. I looked up property records for the area and found something that made my blood run cold. The land was owned by a company that didn't seem to exist anywhere else online. The company name appeared on the property deed and nowhere else. No website, no business registration, no tax records that I could find. It was like a ghost company that existed only to own this specific piece of land in the middle of Montana. But then I found something even more disturbing. I was searching through old news archives when I discovered that this area of Montana had been the site of several unexplained disappearances over the past 15 years. The dates of the disappearances matched exactly with the dates of the encrypted messages.